will get us underway with the opening kickoff. No shot to return that one as he boomed it out of the back of the end zone. First down here for the offense. Try to get it to the edge. Runs through a tackle. And the ball's loose in the backfield. Oh, the offense averts absolute disaster by falling on that fumble. I don't know if it was luck or aggression or just a fortuitous bounce, but at least they've got the ball back.
Well, one thing I do know, Reese, this running back has got to do a better job with ball security. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win this game. They're very lucky they were able to jump on top of that one.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. To the air. It's Gentry. He's got his man. Up near the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 39 to pick up a 15.
Ooh, that's a nice throw. Great accuracy there. And you think about Oregon quarterbacks, I know we think about guys running around a little bit, but think back to guys like Dan Fouts, A.J. Feely. How about that name? Joey Harrington, of course, Justin Herbert. These guys could thread the needle from the pocket, make all the throws. This guy here reminds me a little bit of them.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44. The margin for error is so small in this conference, it's really imperative to get off to a good start in Big Ten play.
Especially, Reese, since you're adding so much talent now to this conference. But, yeah, year in and year out, you know the mainstays in this conference, but there's always some surprises, and I'll be interested to see how everybody starts off this season. Listen, this is your first opportunity, Palmer, in conference play, in a major conference, obviously in the Big Ten, to make your first statement.
And it's going to be taxing all season long for these players. Physically, obviously, and you expect that in the Big Ten Conference. But now adding all those West Coast teams, these guys are going to be flying back and forth across the country a lot this year. They have to get off to a fast start today. That's what makes this game so critical.
The Ducks are marching down the field. Trying to get the edge on the right. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
And on that run, he shows you his speed, speed, speed. When I think Oregon Duck running backs, LaMichael James, Kenyon Barnum, Jonathan Stewart, I think about guys that are burners, and when they got into the second level, they were gone. That's exactly what this guy is right here.
Getting some heat. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. When you reach this point in the season, these types of games, top 25 matchups, really determine whether you're going to be a contender.
Yeah, and really show what you're going to be the rest of the season. How are you going to finish strong throughout the season? You know, the first part of the season, now getting to the middle of the season, Palmer, getting a chance to show what you're about so you can finish strong.
It's a resume builder, no doubt about it. And really, there's been so much anticipation building up to this top 25 matchup. So which team can control their emotions, I think, goes a long way in who wins this one.
Wide receiver shows motion. With jet sweep pass. Open runway ahead. Touchdown Ducks! And they score first. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. That is an efficient drive. 7 plays, 75 yards. And they cap it off with a 32-yard touchdown pass. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. The give on the inside. Not much there. Picks up a couple to the 22.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
The short hands. It's Allen. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
One of the things that makes this guy so dangerous is how good he is after the catch. If he's got any space around him, he's able to burst. He's able to make people miss and get extra yards for his offense. You saw it right there.
Trying to find his man on first down. And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete. Couldn't get anything done on first down. Now 2nd and 10 from the 46. They'll try it over the left side. Really nice, patient job to find some running room by this junior.
That's a great-looking run there. Nebraska has had such a great lineage at running back. When you think back to the great Roger Craig or Amon Green, Lawrence Phillips, or Rex Burkhead, they always seem to be pumping somebody up into the NFL. This guy has a chance to play on Sunday because of his skills.
Using the quick game. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
Nice job there. Good timing between the QB and the wide receiver executing that out route.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. They get him down, but he does pick up 3 to the 32-yard line. A 3rd down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Got to give the defense credit on that play, taking everything away, forcing the incompletion. Now it's decision time. 4th and short, and you're in field goal range. What do you do here?
Would have been a makeable 49-yard field goal attempt, but they'd rather try to keep the ball and move it on 4th and short. Try to get it on the ground. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the first down.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Fires to the big fella. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there.
Nice job decision-making by the quarterback there in the RPO, not handing it off, knowing he had to throw it, but then also understanding his open guy was going to be in the right flat.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. He's looking to throw. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. He'll throw on 3rd down. Quick completion on the out route. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Cornhuskers! That touchdown was a clinic in keeping your offense on the field and wearing the other defense out.
Sometimes your best defense is your own offense, being able to stay on the field. You're absolutely right, Reese. That was a clinic. Running the ball, playing at great rhythm and pace, QB making good, smart decisions, and not shooting yourselves in the foot. No penalties, no turnovers. It doesn't get any better than that last drive.
After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. Oh, right through his fingers, he muffed it. Here comes the offense. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tied.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking to pass. It's Gentry. He fires one deep down the right side. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line. We all love the quarterbacks with the big arms and the big throws, but getting that protection set properly is so huge.
And I think the quarterback just had so much confidence that he was going to be picked up. He didn't freak out. He was so poised, knowing that those big fellas up front, they had it all taken care of.
Quarterback now on the run, still looking. Just gets rid of the football, nobody to throw it to. It'll be second down.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and live to play another day.
They'll go back to the air on second down. Makes the grab. He's brought down. Solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
That play was designed to go to the running back. They were hoping they were going to get man coverage. And one-on-one, that back is going to win that matchup every single time.
Let's see what they do here on third and short from the 41. Quarterback will audible. Wants to throw on third. Fires to the big fella. Crosses the 30, he's got a lane. Oh, and the ball's out after that big play. And the ball will bounce out of bounds on the fumble. This should be the last play of the quarter. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And he's able to pick up a few yards as we reach the end of the first quarter. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. They'll try the right side. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. And the Ducks headed quickly to the line. Turning to the running game on first and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Oregon!
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
On to attempt the try. And the PAT gives him a 14-7 lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great top 25 matchup. Arkansas is in front. They've played awfully well today, and while there's no Darren McFadden out there, this group is fighting. They're up by 6 over Baylor. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Nebraska offense back onto the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
He wants to pass it on 2nd down. Right down the middle. Makes the grab. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a 1st down.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws right in those holes. Get those 1st downs. Get those big chunks.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Most offensive schemes are predicated on 1st down productivity. That will not go down as a productive 1st down play.
No, it will not, Reese. Give this defensive line credit, because they were able to get penetration right off the snap and force a negative.
Hit the gas, kid, wide open ahead. And he gets a big chunk of yardage to the 34-yard line.
And the offensive line and the quarterback has to do their job on screens. They got to sell. Pass down the field, pass down the field. Offensive line releases. Quarterback now snaps his eyes to the running back. The running back does the rest with the big boys out in front, creating a pass.
This offensive line better figure out a plan for this D tackle. He is tough to block with one guy. You might want to start double teaming him. He's going to be a problem moving forward. You saw all of his ability on that last play.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. He's looking to throw. Finds his target down the middle. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down mark.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is, because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Perhaps emboldened by converting a 4th down earlier in the game, they'll try a 2nd time. They'll try it on the ground. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
And how about the defense coming up big on 4th and short? You know they're going to run the football. Great job stacking the box, getting a big stop.
The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense has to find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive, because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Dropping back, it's Gentry. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Oregon.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
At the 35, he's loose. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. It's not just the dual threat guy. You go back to Dan Fouts or Bill Musgrave or even Justin Herbert, and passers not in short supply for the Ducks.
And when you think about the Ducks, you always think about the fancy uniforms. I think that's one of the first things that come to mind, but the guys you just named, it's been built on flash, but it's also been built on substance. Great players in their tradition, in their history, and just like now, just in the recent history, Bo Nix, another one of those guys that's put up big numbers.
Quick touch pass to the receiver. Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
Now, that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Back to throw, it's Gentry. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the catch. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Ducks! Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. So a well-executed 8-play, 75-yard drive. And they finish it off with the score from the 4. He'll bring it out. It's Bradley. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
It's 3rd down now. They ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. Quarterback will keep it. And he'll pick up the 1st down, but he got drilled on that tackle. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this thing has been one-sided, and they hope to at least have something to feel good about going into halftime. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. The Cornhuskers will have it 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. They're setting up the screen. Not able to break the big one on that screen to the running back, but he found enough and a solid pickup on first down. Finds his man. It's Allen. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down. Offense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the first down. They'll try to get it off quickly. He wants to throw. Buys a little extra time. Makes the pass. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
You know, it's difficult for QBs sometimes when you're throwing to your running backs because they're not receivers. You really got to be perfect with the ball placement. You got to make that a catchable throw. A little bit too tough for the RB on that.
They'll go to the ground. They'll give him a couple that leaves him with 3rd and 8.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
Quarterback extends the play. Fires the pass. Intercepted. Couldn't find much breathing room to return it, but the interception has this offense in business at the 27.
Well, he was rolling to his right. Because of that, I don't know if it affected the timing between him and his wide receiver. They just weren't on the same page on that one as the defense comes away with the INT.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David is sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to create and sometimes hard to stop. You have it, so Jesse, don't do anything stupid to create some momentum for the other side.
I think a lot of this comes down to your quarterback and whether or not he's making good decisions in this game. If yes, be aggressive. If not, let's just take the lead into halftime and get ready for the second half.
The offense set for a first down play. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. To the air, it's Gentry. And he dropped it, just didn't look the thing all the way in.
Well, the tight end's a guy that's going to have to be able to make plays for this offense in the passing game. That time, QB looking for the big fella. He ran a good route, just couldn't reel it in.
They'll try again on second down after the incompletion. Out of the gun, the running back has it. At the 35, he's open. Right down the gut of the field. At the 20. And he'll take it in. They couldn't get him on the ground. Touchdown, Oregon! No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. You know they love their track at Oregon, and when the gun goes off and he hits open field, he is headed to the tape, and he was burning by the time he hit the end zone.
And they've had guys year after year with serious track speed. They'll get to the small runs, lull you to sleep, and then boom, they make those big plays because they got big-time playmakers with speed at running back.
And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
You know, they pride themselves on being physical at the point of attack, dominating at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there picking up the first down.
They'll throw it on first down. Not able to hook up there, incomplete. Now on second down. He's looking to throw. Fires toward the target. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it.
This tight end is such a weapon because he can line up all over the field. That time he starts in the slot. He's running the corner route against zone coverage, and he's just got athleticism and wiggle and the ability to separate and make big plays. It's so nice to have a target like that.
to the air on first down. Turns it loose. Makes a connection. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half, maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. He's looking to throw it. Got it! And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska!
Number 5.
The AT unit on the field. And with the extra point, they trail by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. No chance to return that one. A booming kickoff out of the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. The Ducks will line up to kick off and start the second half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half, so now you're down. I got to maximize every single one. Put your best plays together. Start this drive off on a good note.
Yeah, it starts right here. Obviously, you can't get it all back on this drive, but you can create that momentum. You can create something special and some energy, but it's going to start with this offense here executing at a high level.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. Finds his man down the middle. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down.
You've got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a first down.
And this set of downs gets started from the 33, 1st and 10. The give to the back. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones. D linemen staying in their gaps. Linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. He throws back across his body, and it's picked off. And the senior just took that one out of the air and sent it the other way.
Hey, listen, it's not just the offense that makes adjustments at halftime. The defense does too, and that time maybe showing a little bit of a different look than what they did in the first half. Looked like they confused the quarterback. They're able to come away with a pick.
The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Quarterback checking the play. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. He makes the connection.
Well, when you're running the drag route against man coverage like that, as a quarterback, you got to put the ball out in front of your target. When you do that, you give the guy a chance to then advance the football up the field, pick up a first down like they did right there.
Here comes the offense on second down. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. It's amazing how play by a defensive end in the backfield can really swing the momentum not only of a series but of a game sometimes.
All you're trying to do is create negative plays, to get them behind the sticks a little bit, to get those sacks, to get those tackles for losses. You see so much stunting in college football up front with the defensive line because you know once you get one of those plays, you got the offense right where you want it.
And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. They were really hopeful he could make a guy or two miss and pick up the first down, but he comes up a little short.
Yeah, and it's great defense. It's defense understanding where the sticks are, not missing tackles, getting the guy on the ground quickly. Really nice job by the defense understanding the situation.
The Ducks are stopped, but not before getting it past the sticks.
No mystery there. 4th and inches. Hand it off. Keep the drive alive.
And the Ducks have it with a 1st and 10. They'll try to get the edge with the toss play here.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking to throw, it's Gentry. Setting up the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Well, a nice gainer on that running back screen. How about the offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks to really help out the back, find some space to go to work?
The Ducks are threatening in the red zone. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Line is set on 3rd down. Looking to throw for it. Gets it out fast. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks! The offense strikes again to extend its lead here in the second half.
And they got everything working. How great is this? You extend your lead, now you get your defense back on the field. Great job taking advantage of the situation and building on that lead.
Nebraska, 14.
He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point.
Gonna take a shot. And it's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been on par. Didn't let him get loose on the return, but he'll take it as they have the ball at the 47.
Well, that's the 2nd pick in as many series now for this quarterback. But, David, I love the defense right now and the way they're reading and reacting to all these route concepts. I mean, they are all over these guys on the back end.
All over the field, making plays. Listen, you're supposed to see the quarterback break on the football. You've seen several breaks on the football. Your job is to know what the offense does really, really well. And you can tell this defense is dialed in, and they know exactly what this offense wants to accomplish.
After the misfire, now on second down. To the air, it's Gentry. Makes the grab. And the completion gives him a fresh set of downs and keeps this drive moving.
That's a really nice looking throw. And when I think about the Ducks offense, I think about explosive plays, right? In the running game, but also in the passing game. I feel like if this team is going to win the conference, they need this guy here to be able to make throws like that on a consistent basis. But I'll tell you, he really gives him a chance. He makes this offense go.
On the move at the 30. Slicing and dicing through this defense, and they've got it down to the 23.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. The quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
Give to the running back.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. And maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
On second down, they'll take to the air. They're working that left side. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
You can tell this quarterback did his homework coming into this game. He has been dissecting this defense with his arm and his mind. Over 300 yards passing.
New set of downs after that completion. Looking to go up top on first down. Going for 6. Touchdown, Oregon! And the stomping has commenced. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. Florida sparkled today in a dominant road win. In fact, by the fourth quarter, it almost felt like this game was being played in the swamp. That's how much they took that crowd out of it. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way. But I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. To the ground with the back. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. He'll try the left side. Crosses the 30. He's got away. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. And the Huskers will snap it on 1st and 10. Takes this handoff and headed to the right.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Oregon 42, Nebraska 14.
2nd down now as they're ready to go back to work. He's looking to throw. Forced out of the pocket. Got it in the middle. It's Allen. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down.
Nice job by the receiver on the back end there, too. He sees his quarterback on the run moving, and he just works to get himself open to give his guy a place to throw the football. They're able to connect, and they keep the drive going.
I like this, taking the safe play, getting the positive gain, and seeing if you can build some momentum.
And I think it's making the right play, Reese. That's where quarterbacks get in trouble sometimes when they get too aggressive and then they get behind the sticks a little bit. I see a lot of space. Take advantage of it. Get it to my running back. Let him chew that up, and now it's easier on the next down.
6th play of the drive coming up. Wants to throw on 2nd down. Makes the grab. It's Nelson. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. And now a fresh set of downs for this offense. They're going to run it. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Yeah, and this offense, man, they just continue to struggle. And they need to find something that they do really, really well. And running the football late in the fourth quarter when you're getting beat by a good bit, that's probably not it. This offense needs to hit the gas, and they need to pitch and catch a little bit, throw the football around.
And they bring him down, but did you see this freshman rifle that thing in there? Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
Quite a bit of work to do on 3rd down from the 23, and this D would love to force a field goal try. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. And the incomplete pass turns the ball over on down.
Listen, with the aggressiveness of offenses and taking chances, a lot of times it's going to put your defense in a hole. And this defense is going to have to come through in the clutch right here because you're trailing. They can't get more scores. They got to get a stop on this possession, and the offense is going to have to do better than they just did.
Out of the gun, the inside give. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
He's got it. Got room at the 35. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there. A similar situation with a lead like this. They'd definitely be running the ball at this point. They'd probably take their starting quarterback out of the game potentially, but not this unit. They are still staying aggressive. They're still taking shots. They're just trying to light up the scoreboard.
And you hear about run blitzes. This is exactly what a run blitz is. When you know the ball's coming up the middle, you want to bring those linebackers, get them closer to the line of scrimmage, and fire. Right when the ball snapped, he's coming downhill, doing a good job creating the loss. That linebacker really knew what was going on.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Wants to throw. It's Gentry. Intercepted. Didn't have a lot of room to run after the pick, but he's done his job. They have it at the 44.
Obviously, this game hasn't gone the way they would have liked, but coaches are always looking for positive moments and things that you can build on. How about that young man going out, getting an interception? Yeah, they're being blown out. They're probably not going to win this football game, but that is the type of play that as a coaching staff you can build on for next week's game.
The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. Rides to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
A 3rd and long coming up here. Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. Finding open areas. He's off to the races. And he froze that defender. He thought he was going to pitch it, kept it himself, and turned it into a big play.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles people try.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Husker.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
And he tacks on the extra point. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. Maybe feeling a little better about things. Still a 21-point game as they're set to kick it off. Here he comes with the return. This guy is so dangerous. The excellent vision to find a lane and get it out and set up the offense with good field position. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make in order to get this win. I thought the quarterback showed tremendous poise, good leadership throughout the course of the game. Defense made stops when they had to make them. So, right, there were some things that are going to need to clean up moving forward, but ultimately they were the better team today.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of